Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's perfect storytelling.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah. You heckin' Batman.
I gotta use my most epic voice because I was gonna use a voice changer, but they all suck.
Yeah,
So.
they do. They all make it just look super fake.
Welcome to the world of Elderune adventurers. In this world, you will find that your will is your way. Before you is an open gateway to the unknown, full of mystery, enchantment, and above all else, a grand journey. I am the lord of these realms, the weaver of destiny, he who bows to no one. They refer to me as the luminous one, as I exist everywhere and balance all the cosmos at once. In the beginning, my very existence was an endless war between two halves to my whole being. The light, a certain benevolence within me, was constantly tempted by the darkness, a creeping corruption that beckoned for death. That was until I created A.O. With his birth, I have bestowed upon the cosmos an eternal watcher, one who would bring a temporary peace to the war within. A.O. is he who birthed the world with Selune and Shar, as well as all the worlds and stars that you see today. With his guidance, the world of Elderune grows prosperous and is free from the darkness, the far realm that yearns within me. However, as every light must cast a shadow, therefore must be darkness, wickedness in this world of good. I fear, even A.O. cannot prevent my wrath this time. It is up to you, adventurers, and your ancestors to determine the fate of the realm space and all within it. We will begin the campaign as your ancestors who have been guided through what seemed like a lifetime of perilous journeys. Their final destination is the astral plane where they will meet face to face with Lord A.O. himself. They find themselves teleported by divine intervention to the entrance of the astral plane. Give me 1 second.
First, can you give me the name of like the important names I need from that? There's the name of
A.O., Selune, Shar.
Can you guys
A.O.
see that? Did I
Selune.
transport you to that page?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that is the luminous one.
Oh fuck.
And the
Very shiny.
luminous one, for reference, because this is player knowledge, you don't have to roll anything for this, but the luminous one is me.
Okay.
Okay? So that's just like a representation of him in the actual world, what he would look like.
You're a fucking giant celestial being.
Right. Who's
Cloud
forging, right now, what you can see in that picture, if I scroll down because it's too big on my fucking screen, that what he's forging down below is A.O. That's him creating the Overgod.
Okay.
Alright? And what were you
That's
asking?
you last week.
Yeah. Sweating.
Fucking
There's no
get it-
sweat in
get it
that.
right.
There's no sweat in that picture.
but I was sweating.
Maybe it's the stars. You're just a very sparkly
Now you
sweat.
guys find yourselves on the entrance to the astral plane, and that is what it looks like.
Oh shit. Beautiful.
Alright, so what were your questions?
So I have the names Ao, Selune, and Shar. Those are the ones I need, right?
Yes, and the luminous one.
And the luminous one.
Right, and A.O. is just A.O. 2 letters. He is the
A.O.
Overgod. He is the Overgod of the realm. He created Selune and Shar, his daughter and his son. And we'll get to what they did. Actually, Selune is the one that created all the beings. Shar is the one that forged the world, Elderune, and all of the planes of existence. So together, brother and sister created all life that is known.
So
The
Selune created life, and Shar created a place for them to inhabit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Essentially, okay.
Okay, got it.
And A.O. is just the Overgod. He is basically the visual representation of the luminous one. He is not as powerful, but he is the most powerful known being in the universe currently. Because nobody knows that the luminous one exists, obviously, other than player knowledge.
Well, got it. Thank you.
All right.
My notes are full bore.
I have to lower this because I have my MacBook here, which has a whole nother fucking 2 paragraphs on it. Or 2 pages, rather. Alright. What you see before you is astonishing and so magnificent that it almost drops you to your knees, shaking even the sturdiest of adventurers. Keep in mind that you guys right now are your ancestors. You're not your
Yeah.
characters. The ancestors consist of a dwarven fighter, a dwarven paladin, your same races and classes, except they're not the same archetypes. The wizard, for example, would be like archetype of knowledge. The fighter would be like a champion. It's not your same archetypes, just different. But they're your ancestors. Shaking even the sturdiest of adventurers. The whole of the cosmos is here before you, every star, planet, and plane of existence visible at one time. It is almost as if you are now at the center of the known universe, the realm space, and a shell of worlds surrounds you, moving in synchronized perpetual motion. The stars glisten colors of the rainbow, and the planes of existence each have their own aura reflecting the natural essence of the plane itself, such as the plane of fire, a roaring flame. You could have never before comprehended the raw power, the sheer excellence that is the astral plane. Gods of many different shapes, sizes, and creeds zipping past you effortlessly. Some can even be seen on their respective miniature worlds, such as the god of smithy, seen hammering away on his gigantic anvil. As you peer into the endlessness of the astral plane, you are approached by a woman. 1 second. I gotta figure out how to do all this shit.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's the sexy bitch.
Alright, you can see her, right? She's in
Yeah.
the center.
Yes.
Yeah. Wearing her little see-through
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah. Alright, where was I at? More beautiful than any you've ever seen before in your entire life. She is clothed in a long, almost transparent silver dress coupled with pure silver accessories and a belt putting the whole ensemble together. You take notice to the belt bearing the symbol of 7 stars surrounding a pair of eyes. As you look now toward her face, you can see she has the most stunning complexion, complemented even more so by her bright green eyes which seem to pierce through your inner being, straight to your soul. Oh god. Oh, my children, you have all grown so much, it is unbelievable. I have waited for this moment for so long, I nearly lost myself. Welcome to the astral plane, one of our Lord's most incredible designs. He seems to have brought you to me first, isn't he wonderful? As you can see behind me, this is my home here on the astral plane. Don't you just love the floating lotus? I swear it must have been the best decision I've made in quite some time. She sighs before continuing. Now then, Father is waiting for you all, or rather, your grandfather, I should say. However, don't go calling him that or it might not end very well. If you would be so kind and please all step onto this circle here, it would take you straight to him. Best of luck. May the gods and goddesses bless you all. I sure know that I'm rooting for you, she says finally as she directs you all to the portal drawn out on the lavender-colored pathway before you. What do you do? Your choices as ancestors are step onto the portal or grab Salune and push her onto the portal. What is your choice?
We're gonna step on.
Can we talk about this?
Yeah, talk about it. You guys have plenty of time.
Portal. This is
I'll
a
tell you
portal. I don't
right
wanna
now
mess
that
up
you
anything.
guys have like I expanded. It's like 32 total choices, but choose wisely.
Wait, before we say anything, I just want to say that Red trying to talk to the woman shall forever be recorded.
Good.
Yeah.
I tried.
Dude, I liked it. I
liked
love
it.
it
It was
right
funny.
before you were like, oh god.
It's hard to talk as a woman, man.
It
No, it
is.
really is. You have a very talented voice actor to pull it off. My decision here is
I
she's
agree.
really pretty, and I wouldn't want to mess my chances up with her. So I'm gonna step on the portal.
I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah, she's
Okay,
a
2
supreme
for step on the
being.
portal.
She's a supreme
Yeah,
being. I'm
I'll
not
swap.
gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not
she-
gonna say no to her. I'm gonna step
Yeah,
on the portal.
pretty much same.
So
thought.
3 out of 5 step on the portal. You guys are stepping onto the portal.
Anthony, is it?
You all
Zach?
show a form of respect to Salune as she ushers you towards the portal. When you draw closer, she stops in front of it and pulls you each, one at a time, by your hands, placing a kiss on your cheek as you walk onto the portal. Each of you is teleported individually to the chambers of Lord A.O. himself. It appears as if you are all standing on nothing, an invisible pathway, if you will, standing alone in the cosmos with nothing but the universe around you. Lord A.O.'s chambers are separated from space and time itself. The colors of the stars are no longer flickering as you walk down this pathway. seemingly guided by a familiar force, the presence of the Lord himself. Before long, you realize that there is in fact something out there moving, a being of unparalleled size creating worlds out of thin air as if he was a cosmic magician.
Who walked through with it? Everyone or?
Everyone.
Okay,
It's
everyone
going
walked
based on a party decision. If 3 out of 5 of you decide to do the same
Then
thing,
everyone
that is what
goes
you're
through.
going to do.
Yep. It was
Yeah.
4 out of
It's like-
5. Anthony didn't say anything though.
It's like
Got
one of those Goosebumps books where you turn to a certain page.
Right.
I
In
like
this
it, I like
picture,
it.
this is
Ooh,
Lord
that's
A.O.
good. Okay.
And he's weaving in his hands right there are worlds. He is
I'm gonna
just
assume
juggling
before that
them.
was Salune.
Yes, that was Salune, and that was her actual domain. So when you got teleported, he teleported you to her domain. But visible where you were was also plenty other gods' domains, like such as
Yeah.
the god of Smithy. He was
Smithy.
hammering away on his anvil. You know, that's like each god has their own representation of who they are.
Yeah.
But in there, you saw him doing his work, creating
Okay.
swords or whatever he was creating. Okay.
It's like
And we ended off with
around.
a being of unparalleled size creating worlds out of thin air as if he was a cosmic magician. This is Lord A.O. As you draw closer, you feel something you have never felt before. The guidance of A.O. is something you have come to understand, but this is completely different. Each step seems to bring you closer to the edge of existence within yourself. It is as if he is tearing you apart spiritually, physically, and mentally all at once. There is no pain but fear as you approach him. You cannot shrug this feeling off and notice now that each step you take goes unhindered. You are no longer within control of yourself as you inch toward the Overgod. He is clearer now more than ever, a towering entity of pure energy, comprised of galaxies and solar systems. His eyes, the brightest stars in the known universe. His hair and body made up of glowing nebulas far beyond counting. As you revel in his magnificence, you all notice that you finally stopped walking, back in control of your bodies, and are now face to face with him. He turns to you all, juggling worlds in his hands. What do you do? Do you kneel before the Overgod, or do you curse him in anger for the journey was too long and perilous?
Neil?
I'm nailing.
I'm not gonna complain to an overgod.
I'm nearby. It's fucking terrifying. I'm nailing.
Yeah, Neil.
I would
Okay.
curse him, but I get overruled.
Okay, yeah, you do get overruled. So you guys are all kneeling before the Overgod.
Fuck.
As you kneel before the Overgod, he turns to you. The entire universe trembles with his movement. Still juggling worlds in his hands, he laughs heartily. Ha 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 ha, almost destroying your eardrums in the process. With the blink of his cosmic eyes, you are seemingly transported, still kneeling, into his chambers. Now you see before you a 12-foot being. Let me swap. There you go.
Oh shit.
You zoom out. When you zoom out, it makes it more crisp. Just so you guys know.
Yeah, I zoomed out.
Alright. Now you see before you a 12-foot being, masked and clothed in the most beautiful cosmic robes you've ever seen. He dons a pure white mask that protects his face, or rather, protects those that would dare look into his eyes. Even the gods cannot peer into A.O.'s eyes, for they would be destroyed instantly, in a flash, due to the sheer power he possesses. They illuminate through the mask as two endless orbs of energy, limitless in color. With him, he holds a staff of bone. Whose bones these are remain questioned to the entire universe itself. Only the luminous one knows the power of such a staff, for he himself created this magnificent weapon. Around him, you see the worlds, stars, and planes again, almost as if they were within reach. Surrounding him, on his head, is antlers of pure energy, almost blinding to the eye. He walks forward a few steps, this time worlds orbiting him, leaving a trail of energy. Get up, good adventurers, you shan't kneel before me as I have guided you through years of conquest, good fortune, and of course, a great bit of fun, wouldn't you say? I consider us family at this point, or I wouldn't have guided you as I did so. Anyone chosen by the Luminous One holds a place dear to my heart, for he is the father of all, which makes you my brothers and sisters in arms, he says, as he clears his throat.
Okay, so this wasn't bad. Good.
Shifting almost instantly into a state of neutrality. All formalities aside, it is right down to business now. as we have but mere hours left before catastrophe strikes the realm of space. Tell me, noble adventurers, did you defeat both life and death? What do you say? Yes, we defeated both life and death. No, we have not defeated life and death. This is where it gets tricky for you guys. Think hard about this.
Okay.
Think hard about this one.
I mean, have we died?
What?
Have we died?
No,
He's
it's
saying
not about
no.
whether you died. It's about whether you have defeated both life and death. In this universe, life
say
and death
no.
are forces
Fear
of nature. Life and death are forces of nature. They were both created by AO himself. One of only 3 creations he's ever created. The astral plane created by AO, and life and death both created by AO. They are forces of nature that can inhabit, not inhabit, but form themselves into beings. You have met them on your journey, and it's whether or not you have defeated both of them. There's nothing more I can tell you.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so we got 1
Yes.
for yes, you have defeated both life and death.
I'm not gonna tell you guys why I choose that, but that's my vote.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's 1 for
I have
yes.
my reasons. I
Yep.
vote yes.
Okay, 2 for yes.
One more yes, come on, boy!
Think hard.
I'm still thinking.
I knew this would be a good choice for you guys, because you're probably saying to yourself, okay, if we beat life and death, it could be a good thing, but at the same time, if we did beat it, it could be a bad thing. Maybe he didn't want us to defeat life
Yeah,
and death.
are we
Who
trying
knows?
To show him up?
Who knows?
No, but there's another reason I have a wizard
Yeah.
of my strength. I'm trying to play my character already, and just assuming this wizard. These are powerful fucking people we're playing right now. That we're I'm assuming we're really strong, right, Red?
Yes, you guys are on the verge of becoming demigods.
Yeah, my
You're
wizard.
level 20 with, almost 20 levels in
Yeah.
another class. Your guys are very close to demigods, but your
My
main class
wizard-
is wizard, fighter, etc.
My wizard would, 1, definitely destroy any foe that comes across his path, and 2, if he didn't, would definitely not tell anyone that he failed. So that's my reasoning. Being such a powerful wizard,
You wouldn't
definitely
say
not.
he lost.
Oh,
you would
definitely not.
lie to an overgod.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay.
But
Your
I
ancestors, right?
I've
Note
defeated
that I
him.
wrote that into this as well. If you lie.
Well, I didn't lie because I did defeat them.
Okay, no, I know that, but I'm just saying, you'll see.
I
Let's see.
defeated life and death.
Okay, so we have 2 for defeating them. What do you guys, Rosari?
Rosari said no. I think.
Is Rosari here?
Yeah, she was.
She's
I'm pretty
here?
sure she
She
said
was here.
no.
She said, did she?
I heard her say no.
Was that alright?
I'll say yes.
Oh fuck.
Okay. Yes, you guys have defeated
Devil's
both of them.
advocate.
I was about to flip a coin. I couldn't make up my mind.
Shit.
As you rise from kneeling, you explain to the Overgod in minute detail that you have defeated the twins' life and death. He peers about you, raising his hand into the air, and with it you too begin to float. An aura surrounds you now, glowing gold, red, and yellow. Speak it plainly and speak it true now, adventurers, for time is short. How exactly did you defeat life? AO questions, the aura
Oh,
revealing
fuck.
itself to be divine power that will not allow you to lie. And I have a system for this. If you guys are caught lying, you roll lower on a set of 1d6. So all of you will roll 1d6. So the whole party of 5, and you must get above 15 in order to be telling the truth. If you get below 15, you are lying.
Okay.
As a group?
As a group, you will roll 1d6s.
Right now?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So, what do you say to him? We defeated life with a game of gambling. Or, we defeated life in a duel to the death. Life is a she, by the way.
Okay, so defeat
but-
doesn't necessarily mean kill.
No, it just means defeat, because you cannot kill a force of nature. It exists always, but whether or not you have defeated it is the purpose of this dialogue.
It doesn't
So
necessarily
defeating
have to be
them-
by combat
Yeah,
either.
it doesn't. Right.
Gambling.
So defeating life in a duel to the death means you struck her down and killed her, but she's not dead. She's still a force of nature. Her physical body was defeated by you, which means she acknowledges the defeat
All
at
right.
your hands.
Okay.
In one of these two forms, a game of gambling or a duel to the death. Choose wisely.
I say gambling.
Yeah, why would we try
Uh-huh.
and duel life to the death?
It's a good question.
couldn't
Would
fucking
you or
beat
would
her.
you not?
Oh, she is
Well,
there.
gambling is based on chance, and
Exactly.
I'm
dueling
really
is based
smart.
on skill.
Gambling's not based entirely on chance. It's not.
There's a lot of charisma involved.
Just think about it this way. Would life be a gambler, or would life want you to duel to the death? It's your choice.
Yeah.
Life
How
is
do
a
you
exactly.
view
gamble.
life?
Life
There you
is
go.
a gamble. She would not want to kill us, so a fight to the death wouldn't be her thing.
Yeah, I don't think
Are
so.
you sure?
I would say gamble, yeah, because
Yeah, let's go
Okay.
with
defeat
the
a
gamble.
supreme
Okay,
being,
so we got gamble.
Yeah.
We're
You
going
defeated
gamble.
life with a game of gambling.
Yep.
The Overgod looks pleased, his eyes glowing ever brighter.
We
You
just
did
clapped.
defeat life. What a wondrous task you have completed. He says to you with arms wide open. The twins are formidable foes, those two, and time has turned them bitter. Trying to end all that we have created is no simple task for them. However, with life defeated, we have an inkling of a chance. He laughs some more. This time not ear-shattering at all, but soothing and heartwarming. Now what say you? How did you defeat death? What do you say? We defeated death with a game of gambling, or we defeated death in a duel?
Duel.
Duel.
I say gambling.
Gambling.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Two for gambling, two for
Fucking
duel.
Here's my reasoning. Here's my reasoning. I just can't see us mortals defeating a supreme being in any form of physical combat.
We're not mortals anymore.
We are. We're on the
You are
verge.
mortal.
Yeah, we're mortal.
You're mortals right now.
I still say we.
Well, the thing is that encountering death as a force of nature takes a certain amount of tasks in order to draw him out. So if you drew him out into a duel, he would be a mortal. He's not going to be an immortal being that's impossible for you to defeat. He would present himself as a mortal of equal power to you, or greater because you're a group of 5, and then you would duel him that way. So he's not going to be this undefeatable Grim Reaper that's,
Would-
untouchable.
I don't think.
Well,
I
Would
don't
the
think
aspect
Death
of
would
death-
be pleased. I don't think he'd be pleased with mere fucking a game.
Well, see, that's
I don't
the
think
thing.
that would please
In
him.
all
Would-
mythology, the only way to defeat the Reaper is in a game of chance.
Would the aspect of death duel honorably, or would he pull some instant death bullshit out?
Would he
Well,
gamble
this
honorably?
death right now,
I can
it
see
is
death cheating.
twisted by time and
I can.
fate. When AO created both life and death, he created them with the essence of the Luminous One himself. So, because of time, they were withered and became bitter. They wanted to control the world. They didn't want to be just a force of nature in the world. So right now, the twins are tempted by fate and tempted by the far realm. So the purpose of a duel against death, basically, he would not be playing fairly. He would be playing to win.
So would we.
Yeah, so he
I-
is not.
I have fucking
To answer your
time stop.
question,
That's not
Zach,
fair.
death
You're a
fights
different,
you
you're a different
unfairly.
person right now.
I still am a wizard.
So
You said you're a different archetype.
yeah, but
Still
it's
a
a
wizard.
level
All
9
20th
spell.
level
Yeah,
wizards have.
yeah, it's a level 9 spell.
Oh,
Time
okay.
War.
I thought that was
But,
just for your class.
Basically, to answer your question, no, death would not be playing fairly. He would be in a
Okay.
mortal body, but he would not be playing fairly. Because he knows
Yeah,
there's
but-
5 of you, one of him, he's not going to be dueling fairly.
Well, it's up to you, Zach.
Only
Huh.
death cheats death.
Give me.
No. We'll go with the duel.
Okay, so we have 3 for duel. There you go. As you explain to the Overgod that you defeated death in a duel, he cries out in pleasure. Yes,
Okay.
adventurers, you are the greatest he has ever presented to me. This is incredible. You all have no idea how great this is. AO turns around to sit back on his throne with triumph in his heart. The artifact in your possession flies out of the bag of holding and into his hands. With this, I shall grant you not only the power of a god, making you demigods, but much more. You all shall join me here in the realm of the gods as gods yourselves. With the flick of his hand, the artifact shoots into the cosmos, creating a domain for the 5 of your ancestors. Your bodies grow with the power of the gods as AO beckons you forth. Be wary now, adventurers. I have only given this power to one mortal before you, who is now dead himself. He turned on us, the power corrupting his mortal mind. Do not let this happen to you, for I would be disheartened in destroying you all. With that, he waves you off into your domain. You win, adventurers. Alright, give me 1 second.
Told you, Graham.
Good end.
Yay! Did we
MVP
get them all
cavities.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you guys took the absolute truest path you could have taken.
MVP.
Ah!
cavities.
Out of 36 choices, you guys took the path that was technically the correct answer for every one of them.
Damn.
So you guys didn't make
Nice.
one mistake. For example, I'll show you. Let's go back.
Do we have to
Just-
roll to
just-
see if we're lying or telling the truth, or did we? Is it
No,
already-
you absolutely avoided that.
Oh, that's so nice.
You avoided that. So in the beginning, if you would have grabbed Salune and pushed her into the portal, you would have one of 3 things that could randomly happen. So as a group, the 5 of you grab the goddess before you toss her into the circle with a thud. She lands on her bottom. The answer is A, she gets up shaking the impact off and laughs, or she gets up shaking the impact off and approaches angrily, and we'll show you what happens with that. You click it. As Salune approaches, she wags her finger at you like an annoyed mother would do. Now, why would you do that? I thought that I had created you all in such a manner that you would understand when to act foolish and when not to, she says as she nears the group. With lunar fire in her eyes, she raises her hand, and with the most powerful blow you've ever seen, she smacks the face of the wizard, spinning his head around completely, killing him instantly.
Oh my
Wow!
Anyone else? She says as you look in awe, your comrade lying lifeless on the ground. What do you do? Pick up arms and fight her? Get down on your knees and ask for forgiveness.
Oh my god.
That's
dude.
just an example of that.
Knowing
path.
us, we would have tried to fight.
Damn.
So you step onto the portal and you guys knelt. Say if you would have cursed, this is what happens. As you approach, you raise your hands in distaste for the gods. Clearly showing your ungrateful nature, you begin to cuckold the overgod, throwing insults upon insults, slinging words of hate. As he turns, the universe trembles in fear, including yourselves, who cannot help but to instantaneously grow silent. I see. You do not favor the approach I have taken these past years. However, seeing as you are but feeble-minded creatures, I will remain patient, and disregard this behavior but temporarily. What say you? Have you defeated both life and death? And then you have 3 choices for that one. Yes, no, and ignore him.
Oh shit.
If you didn't defeat life and death, it goes to the artifact, and I would have you guys roll 1d6 to determine whether or not the artifact was strong enough to turn back the far realm. So yeah, man, there was a bunch of choices.
We just fucking zoomed right through them.
Okay, so say you guys would have chosen life in a duel to the death. This is what happens. As you tell the overgod that you defeated life in a duel to the death, he looks confused. Taking another step down from his throne, you say you defeated her in a duel to the death? Isn't that ironic? I always took life as more of a gambler. Are you sure this is how you defeated her? He questions, the aura clearly showing him something else and growing ever hotter. Then you say, yes, we defeated her in a duel. If you would have won, the answer was yes, we defeated her in a duel, in the 1d6 die. If you lost, it would have been no, we did not defeat her in a duel, we lied. As you explain to AO that you lied, the aura grows hotter. Why would you lie? Are you ashamed that you could not defeat her? You should have just said so. But instead, for your insolence, you must now pay the price. He turns around, walking back to his throne, and as he sits, you are all incinerated into ashes. You lose, adventurers.
God damn it.
There was one really good one. Let's see. I had a really, really good one.
Womp bad end.
Fucking incinerated.
Yeah. No, but you guys did good. That was really good choices.
Oh man.
Okay, so say you went to the artifact one and you kept it and then you decided to fight him. As you take the artifact from the bag you presented, attempting to destroy the overgod before you, to no surprise it has no effect on him. What is this? You attempt to defy me? He says. The realm begins to quake even further. The trembling becomes so violent that one of your party falls completely off the edge of the realm, disappearing into nothingness. Is this how you treat your father? His voice booms, exploding the skull of yet another one of your party members right next to you. I will not tolerate such insolence. I knew you were not the chosen ones. His cosmic body turns now and grows even bigger. The worlds he was juggling now come to a halt, one racing towards you at an unfathomable speed. Two more party members are obliterated as the final member manages to use a spell to keep himself alive, but barely. AO sighs now as he approaches, pointing a finger at the last remaining guardian. You shan't disobey me, even in death, he says. You shall suffer the worst for this disrespect. As he points to the final member, their flesh begins to melt away, yet keeping them alive as he tears you apart limb from limb. First, your feet and ankles begin to rot, the skin and flesh, muscle and ligaments all burning away as you scream in agony. It grows further, up your legs and into your groin, then throughout your entire body as you weep, cry out in pain, yet you are still alive. You will know that this did not have to happen, he says to you as you stand there, nothing but bone and tiny bits of flesh remaining. Now, kneel, he says as he flicks his finger, killing you instantly as you drop to your knees, now dead. You lose, adventurers. I had a really good ones, man. Alright. So,
That was awesome.
Yeah, but that
adventurers
would've been
win.
terrible.
The group has convinced AO that they have defeated both life and death, and in turn has saved the realm space and all of Elderune from the darkness known as the Far Realm, the twisted and malicious other half of the Luminous One. With this victory, the realm space remains untouched for many years, and the Guardians, your ancestors, become gods with their own corners to rule over in the astral plane. And I say gods like that because there was two ways you guys could have won. Either A, you win and become demigods because you lied once, or you did, something, one of those choices that you made wasn't the absolute true choice. Because you made the true choices, your ancestors are now gods. So they become gods with their own corners to rule over in the astral plane. All the while, they must remain vigilant for any remaining threat that could come from the Far Realm. The Luminous One takes note that the Guardians of Elderune have succeeded and personally thanks in each and every one of them before consulting AO personally about the future of the known universe. So the Luminous One has met your ancestors and your ancestors have met him. AO begrudgingly accepts that the Luminous One's maleficent other half will strike again. However, when is not known even to the all-seeing Overgod and his master. The Luminous One explains to AO that while the imminent threat was quelled, there still remains fragments of darkness that will surely grow. The second wave will be much stronger than the last, and these gods, the Guardians of Elderune, will not be enough. The Luminous One, all-seeing, reveals to AO that much wiser, stronger, and formidable beings will arise akin to the Guardians of old in several years to come. That is you guys. They must be guided as the former group was and complete several tasks en route to godhood. AO is shocked to find out that that such beings could even exist, as only one mortal was ever before made a god. Even then, AO personally challenged this being himself, and of course winning the bout before deciding he was in fact worthy. So your ancestors became gods without even having to fight the Overgod.
Jesus.
So that's how good you guys did. With this new information, AO awaits the Guardians to come from the womb of the Guardians of old. The world's finally at peace after all that has happened. So basically, what happened throughout the years of journey that your ancestors was on, and this is wrote it in bold text, this is for you guys to write down.
Okay.
The world state is currently in restoration. When the Guardians enter the story, they are in a world that is built anew, save from few places that never repaired what was destroyed, or didn't have the proper budget to finish rebuilding. Okay? So an example of that, let's take you back.
Currently in restoration except for a few places, you said?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second. Restoration.
So for example, on the Elven lands, Nithluna, Rootvale, and Mirror Lake all untouched. The elves have ancient knowledge of magic And that tree is a very
Fucking elves, man, I love
important
'em.
tree. So that tree practically protects that continent entirely.
Okay.
No alterations there. The Orc City in the canyons, Kralmar, was destroyed. They're currently rebuilding it. So Kralmar is in restoration right now.
Okay.
Thaladir, a huge portion of the mountain caved in. A bunch of dwarves in that mountain path trapped and eventually die. It's taking them several years to clear that path.
I hate
Thaladir?
What?
I hate you, Red.
So Thaladir lost a major section of the Dwarven Kingdom. It wasn't obliterated. They just lost a major portion. Several of the Dwarven cities in the mountains, which are not actually on the map, they remain fine. And a bunch of them were actually called to Thaladir to help with restoration. So those towns are practically ghost towns right now. But Thaladir is in restoration. They have like, let's say, another couple months when you guys arrive there to complete the finally clearing the path to get back over there. The city of Al-Rokar was protected by a prophet, so they are unharmed. That temple you see to the right, obliterated. There's nobody there to be rebuilding it. It is in ruin. And everything that was in the temple, now up for grabs.
Arakar is safe. Temple obliterated. Temple to the right?
Yes, the temple to the right was obliterated. There's a town surrounding it. The town, there's no knowledge of who or what lives in that town, as nobody has ever been able to travel that far into the desert without either A, dying, or B, being met with really formidable foes. There is a way to approach by the water, but because you guys would be traveling you're practically traveling through the Sea of Rage to get there, even though it's the end of the Sea of Rage. It's a really, really hard boat ride. Like, there's a chance that your boat will be capsized en route there. Really, the only way to get there is by land, unless you somehow come across a boat that is unsinkable. Yeah, the pyramid place. All of the treasure that was in the pyramid now up for grabs.
Got it. I put loot
as
here.
it was destroyed. Yeah. The Scarred Veil. This is an important one. The Scarred Veil opened a chasm of pure fire and darkness. It's as if going into the Scarred Veil, you'd be walking into hell. There's ways around the Scarred Veil because it's like a fault. It's like a fault line. There's obviously land bridges that still connect from one side to the other, which is how dwarves travel from Thaladir to Al-Rokar and etc. etc. So there's ways across it, but in there, nobody's ever actually been in the Scarred Veil. During the time that your guardians were alive and all of this destruction was happening, that's actually the forefront of where the Far Realms creatures were coming from. So traveling across there is so dangerous alone that most people would prefer to take a boat ride from the docks of Al-Rokar to the hillsides of Thaladir through the Barren Sea, because it's actually an easy travel.
This is the Scarred Veil right here.
Yeah, that's the Scarred Veil. So a lot of people often avoid it.
If this whole place is safe, right? The Elvish place.
Yeah, the whole place is safe. Nothing happened there. General knowledge, people understand that the reason why the elves were untouched was because of the tree in Nithluna. Okay. The only people that actually know what or the power of this tree are the elves themselves. Elves aren't naturally distrusting of other races, but they do hold themselves in higher regards. Even the lowest of elves, being like the wood elves, still hold themselves to a certain regard when it comes to humans and other races.
Definitely.
They're not as cocky, however. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though you're a wood elf, you're more inclined to be, greeting a human or a dwarf, but at the same time, you're not gonna think that they're better than you. You're just like, it's a human. and it's a dwarf. So they were protected. As far as the human places go, Weldrake was completely destroyed.
So we
Rip.
don't go to Weldrake. Okay.
It was rampaged and destroyed.
Yeah, so
That
it
was-
was rampaged by the Crimson Brotherhood. After that happened and you guys left, people eventually went back there to colonize. It was still also destroyed again.
Okay, so you're talking about the Crimson Brotherhood, and then it got destroyed again. Oh, jeez,
Yeah.
okay.
So the Crimson Brotherhood came there. Everything happened with your guys' backstories. They ransacked the town, raped and pillaged everyone. You guys survived. You leave. You think it's a completely destroyed ghost town. You guys haven't been there in so long. What happened was people from Greyhaven got note that the Crimson Brotherhood was striking the plains and actually hit the town of Weldrake. So they sent a small army, the commander of the army and let's say a few hundred soldiers went there to find it abandoned. So what they did was they fixed up some of the stuff that happened, and then eventually guarded people on safe travel from both Highbridge and Greyhaven to that city. They recolonized it. The Far Realm opened. It got destroyed again, and now it is completely in ruins.
Poor Weldrake.
Yeah, Weldrake got destroyed twice. Once they recolonized, it is no longer named Weldrake. It was named Golden Ridge.
True.
But Golden Ridge is also destroyed?
Yeah, destroyed. I'm just saying that the name Weldrake of the city was changed when they recolonized it. Basically, the humans that re-inhabited that place decided, let's not keep the name of this town that was destroyed and raped and pillaged. Let's change the name, as a sign of good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Golden Ridge. Highbridge, not destroyed. Nothing happened to Highbridge. Let's see. What do I have written down here for Highbridge? Okay, so yeah, Highbridge was just saved. General knowledge about Highbridge. There's some shady activity going on in the city of Highbridge. Nobody knows why they were untouched. They were actually the only place that in fact never had to defend itself. There was no reported attacks from the Far Realm. They were just completely avoided. Almost every other place was attacked by creatures of the Far Realm. Obviously, like I said, Alracor was protected by a prophet. He warned them. Cromar had no warning, but they defended themselves, so the orcs weren't obliterated, but their city was destroyed.
Because they're
Thal-
fucking orcs. They're like, fuck
Yeah.
this! Ah! They
Yeah,
just fucked it up.
Thaladir was attacked at the main gates. Obviously defending it. It's a fucking stone fortress. But what happened in turn was a colossal being from the Far Realm collapsed one of the caverns
Oh,
in Thaladir.
shit.
So that's what happened.
Pissed.
Yeah.
And they're
Um,
right next to the Scarred Vale, so
Yeah. They were the closest. I mean, that's like ground
Yeah.
zero, man.
it's ground
No,
zero.
that was
This whole
ground zero
continent.
right there.
What about Greyhaven?
And obviously, okay. So Greyhaven defended themselves actually really well. The only places that really got destroyed by Greyhaven were the farms outside of the city walls. Various farmers had to flee, their farms destroyed, the lands, ravaged by fire and chaos. But the city itself was very, very well fortified. I mean, humans aren't dumb. There's some of the greatest fighters are humans. They have a great general, like a very, very good general, whose name you'll find out later.
Humans tend to be extremely organized.
Yeah, they're-
And resourceful.
Yeah, exactly. So they had the walls lined with archers. They had mages in the towers casting spells.
Boarding cannons.
They
Yeah,
were fucking
exactly.
shit up. Okay.
They did really, really well. Just the farms were destroyed, and since then the farms are now back up and running. Greyhaven is a good place to go. Very good city. I'll say player knowledge, probably one of the better cities to have an establishment in.
That's the city
I'm
that me
not
and
going-
Zach, just from background, have hung out the most in.
Yeah, it's like
We grew up right here, just so everyone else knows, and then we spent a lot of time in this forest, and then this city, and I lived here for a while as well.
yeah. We'll get to your guys' stories. I actually have for the first encounter a good reason why. So basically, player knowledge. Greyhaven is an island city. It's blocked by the name, but basically that circular oval formation of land that you see is an island. So the whole city is built on an island with a bridge connecting it to the mainland. That's where all the farms are. On that, across the bridge, on that spot. So when they defended it, they defended the bridge first.
They're like a
Moved
natural moat.
their forces. Yeah, exactly. Moved their forces across the bridge when they were getting pushed back, and they defended the very end of the
What
bridge.
city is this again?
Greyhaven. Greyhaven.
Okay.
The Goblin City of Wormhole is
Wormhole.
virtually unfindable. They were not affected by the Farm Realm either, but for obvious reasons. I mean, even going there, if you see that line that I created, that is like, if you remember from Lord of the Rings where the hobbits live, they live atop a very hilly place, and that line, which looks like a canyon almost, is just the very top of that hill. So the only way around it is to go around the forest. I'll draw it. That way? Do you see that? Or should I
Yeah.
change the color?
Yeah, way
Change
up. I
color.
see it. Way up north.
Oh, why didn't it change?
You can see it.
You
No
have to
problem.
change the top color.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, the only way to get to those hills is around that forest there. So basically, once you get there, there's like nothing. You don't see anything. It's just rolling hills, rolling green hills, the ocean. There's no trees. It's just plains, tall cat grass, etc., etc. Nothing. But people know that the goblins live there. Nobody has ever founded their actual city. Nobody has ever stepped foot in there.
Besides goblins.
Besides goblins, that's
I'm
it.
gonna find that place.
Yeah, it would be a good. I tried to keep it. Honestly, I tried to put it as close to the Hobbit movies as possible.
Yeah.
You know how like when the hobbits get captured, they get put like they're in these caverns and they're like muddy caverns, and they're like, how the fuck do we get here?
Yeah.
They have no idea how they got there. Yeah,
Like a
so-
rainbow there now.
Yeah.
Nice.
that city between the two lakes, destroyed.
Okay.
Completely obliterated. Same thing as Golden Ridge. Obliterated.
What about this city and this city?
The city by the lake, not obliterated. They were attacked. They're currently rebuilding. So if you go there, people are in a frenzy. Like, still trying to rebuild everything. They suffered a decent amount of damage. They're trying their best to fix things up. But as you can see, they're pretty far away from Greyhaven. They're really far away from Highbridge. Their only form of help is the river. Is that river city between the two lakes, which was completely obliterated.
And whatever this is.
And that coastal city, which is a beach city, I haven't named it yet. I'm trying to think of a good name, but we'll get there eventually. That coastal city also attacked. A lot of it was destroyed, but they are rebuilding. So most of their resources are going towards rebuilding. So they can't afford to help that lake city.
Okay.
Tower of Knowledge, completely unaffected. They
Yeah, I
got
figured.
attacked. They got attacked, but they're so powerful that they literally shifted that tower that you see at various points across the map. If they were getting overrun, they completely teleported the entire fucking tower to another part of that island.
Yep.
You know, they were just so powerful that they could just outrun them. And even
Makes
so, when they were
sense.
getting
It's
attacked,
a clan of powerful.
yeah, super strong beings. Throne of AO, unknown. Silver Isles, unknown. Those islands all the way in the east, unknown. Nobody
Got it.
has any idea what happened to these places. Throne of AO is basically a monument. It's a huge landmass of various different types of terrains, like rolling grass hills, forests, everything. It's just natural beauty. It's amazing. Once you get to the center, it's a huge lake, and in the middle of a lake is like basically an island. On that island is a stone structure. What you can see is two guardians standing there, but they're not guardians. One statue is Selune, one statue is Shar, and in the middle is a throne. That actual island in the middle of the lake is called the Eye of AO. So people joke around, almost every race jokes around, says that, you know, that place is his eye. He sees everything on the world because of that place.
Boom.
And that's pretty much it.
I have tons of shit written down. I was on the same page of notes.
I have a full
Yeah.
page.
Yeah, no,
I
yeah,
have
it's
it-
my brain.
My first page is done.
I have it like separated into continents.
Rosario thinks she has it all in her brain. That's cute.
Yeah, good luck.
That's fucking
Oh,
Hey,
And then
hey.
we
by
wonder why
tomorrow.
she's failing at school.
Hey, Rosario, what's Coolmar doing?
Huh?
What's Coolmar doing, Rosario?
Kumar? What?
Coolmar.
She doesn't even know what that is. Well, Zach, I could tell you that
Shoot,
they're
I
in
forgot
restoration.
where the...
I can
Oh
tell you
yeah,
that
there they
Yeah,
are.
I can tell you what I'm saying.
What about Follow Deer? What happened to them? Huh?
So,
Huh?
dude,
Huh?
they,
Huh?
they they had that little weird what is it? I don't
they
do the
lost-
they had the rock slide, not rock slide.
you
They had
know-
the
Rock
game
slide?
rock. They were fairy.
Well, they
I'll
lost
give you
a
an easy
major-
one.
They lost a major section of the.
I'll give you an easy
I
one.
know.
What happened to the temple on the southeast?
It's
Oh, it's-
completely desolated.
Oh, what?
Everything there is up grass.
Temple in the southeast. What temple?
Always comes, always
In the eastern
comes.
continent.
Oh yeah. That's how. Okay, got you.
Yeah, okay.
We'll quiz her
okay,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure all this out tomorrow.
See,
All right, so
I
you
got
guys.
What's at the bottom of the Sacred Veil?
important. Ah!
There's the portal.
Scarred Veil.
I also had to get up to talk to my mom during this, so I'm sorry. You guys are gonna have to kind of hold my hand through this.
So nothing new.
Yeah, nothing new.
So give me a second here. I want to see if there's any more I can tell you guys. And all that I told you is basically general knowledge. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing that I told you that's like game breaking or anything.
It's just like the world history people learn in school.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Not
right.
even that. All the parents like, oh yeah, you wanna look at this map? You see that place?
Yeah,
It's
no.
gone.
I will tell you this. The way that buying establishments in this world will work
My hometown.
is that you are allowed to buy whatever you want, of course, as usual, per basically every game does the same thing. You want a tavern, you buy a tavern. You want an inn, you buy an inn. What I will tell you is this: if you were to say buy a guild hall in Greyhaven, sure, you will have a guild hall. Your reputation gains a little bit because it's a guild hall. People will start catching on to you guys, and you gain your money per month. However, if you were to instead decide to go to a place such as the old city of Weldrake, which is now Golden Ridge, or if you were to go to the cities between the lakes and on the river, or if you were to go to the city in the western part by the lake that's in process of restoration, say one of the destroyed cities, you guys build up with your gold as a group perfectly, that increases your renown to such a substantial amount, and the amount of land that you will have grabbed for a cheaper price, owning a city gets you directly involved in the politics of the world. What this means is that because you guys succeeded in the task that I gave you in the very beginning, the world is not destroyed, everything is being rebuilt, and politics is ever more present in this world. The other world that you guys could have joined, politics don't exist because everyone was fighting to survive. So basically, because you took this route, politics are huge.
Got it.
Dwarves are very, very distrusting. They do have somewhat of allies in humans, but not so much in elves, because elves are just too prideful to put themselves in line with the dwarves. Dwarves' common enemy, orcs. Dwarves and orcs do not get along. For ages they've been fighting. Right now, it's currently at a stalemate. If a dwarf party sees an orc party, they engage in battle. There's often not even a chance that they won't engage in battle.
Right.
There's no discussion between them. The races hate each other. I mean, that's just exactly
and
how it is. Yeah, orcs and dwarves.
Question: where's
The
Golden
goblin?
Bridge?
Golden Ridge is this one right here. Golden Ridge. That one.
It's destroyed though.
Destroyed.
Oh, okay.
The goblins always pillaging and ransacking when they can human places. Humans hate goblins. Goblins hate humans. They're not allies. They're scummy to the humans. They, same thing. Anytime they see a goblin party raiding, they kill them with like vigor. They almost enjoy it. It's like sport for them. They go hunting for goblins. goblins, they go hunting to try and see, they go looking for ambushes. Same thing. They just hate each other.
We're party
The
of
city
half
of
human,
Highbridge.
half dwarves.
What's that?
Half city or half humans and half dwarves. So
Which get along. So that
yeah,
works.
those two get along, but 'cause the other two cities are going to be interesting.
Yep.
Which one's
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Which cities?
The
Wormhole
Orc City and the
Cruelmar.
God.
Cruelmar.
I just
we
thought
have
about it.
we have two dwarves and two humans.
Yep.
Okay, I got you guys.
Shit's gonna go down.
Yeah,
We're gonna
you
get
guys will
kicked
be
out of
fine.
the city immediately.
Well, the thing is that like a human going to Thaladir is not going to get turned away. It's just that they're going to be more hesitant to allow them into the city. Same thing like if a
charge us twice as
dwarf was
much.
going to Greyhaven. They're going to look at you and be like, well, what business do you have here, dwarf? They're not going to be racist about it, and they're not going to be rude. They're just going to be like more skeptical. Versus a dwarf going to Nithluna, they're going to be like, what are you doing here, worthless, like short, stout-legged, ugly, things like that. They'll just start throwing insults at dwarves. They don't want to be even seen with dwarves.
Who are
That's
you
just how
talking
elves
to,
are.
laddie?
Yeah, like, exactly. They
Is-
just like, what the fuck, what
So
do
the
want my
orcs
boot
are
up your bum?
distasteful of the dwarves, but they're still allowed in the city.
No. I was talking about Thaladir. Like if humans went to Thaladir, if
Oh, okay.
dwarves went to Greyhaven. No, if a dwarf went to Kromar, he's gonna get fucking massacred.
Yeah, it's the same with
He's
the
gonna
humans going to Wormhole,
destroyed.
right?
Yeah, same thing with the humans going to Wormhole. If you're a human or humans on those plains, they have eyes everywhere on those plains. They're just gonna suck you into the Goblin City and fucking massacre you. I mean, so you guys going there, you're literally it's going to happen. There's no odds that it won't happen. You going there, standing on those hills, you're gonna get either A, attacked, or B, pulled into the city. One of two things is gonna happen.
Or both.
Nice.
Now, if you're a dwarf over there, chances are that they're not going to suck you in. They might actually come out. Goblins do like money. They like pillaging and stuff like that. And they know dwarves have these amazing gems and, stones and stuff. So a dwarf on the grass hills of Wormhole, they're like, hey, what are you doing here? What do you got? You trying to make a trade?
Looking for
They're
trade,
like, what are
buddy?
you doing? They're interested in making trades with them. So
What you got? What you got? Tell me, huh?
yeah, they're interested. They're very interested in other
Got any
races,
tools?
especially same
Alright.
thing with
Got any
elves.
tools I can buy?
They know elves have amazing knowledge. They have some of the best woodwork in the world, if not the best woodwork in the world. I mean, they're gonna look at elves and be like, hey, we've got bridges down here that are destroyed. Can you help us? We'll pay you. Okay, or do you have any elvish crafted bows or something? We want them. They're interested.
All right, cool.
Personal knowledge for Highbridge. Highbridge is a mixed race city. Highbridge has almost every single race there. They do not have a political disposition. Whatever benefits them is
It's
their
the UN.
disposition. And in
What do you
fact,
think?
Highbridge is actually the hub of trading in the world. They're the
Emirates.
only city that creates zeppelins and distributes them. So basically, a zeppelin goes from Highbridge to Greyhaven, a zeppelin goes from Highbridge to Tower of Knowledge, zeppelin goes from Highbridge to pretty much every major city in this map, aside from Wormhole. Because nobody knows where the fuck that city is, so they don't send one out there. It's not even worth it.
Do they sell like personal zeppelins that you can buy?
That's something you can inquire about.
Okay.
A personal zeppelin's probably not going to be cheap.
We're gonna have
It's
to go
probably
there
going
and
to be-
Of course
find out.
not.
Really expensive. There's actually an actual person who patents the design and creates them. You'll meet him.
Is
His name
it
is Howard.
Mr. Zeppelin?
His name is Howard Hughes,
Oh God!
the
It
aviator.
had to be.
It's Howard Hughes.
That's
He's here.
perfect.
He's in Highbridge, and yeah. So they're like a major.
Well, hi, my
major
name's Howard
company.
Hughes. I'm born in Highbridge, and
And he's like, don't touch me.
I'm
Don't
exit
touch
wood.
me.
He saves all his pee, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a really hot wife, and then he fucks some other really hot bitch. Like he's just a
Oh
player,
God.
God damn it.
Howard.
And
fucking
monopolize
the-
zeppelins.
Howard here.
The
Who's
Tower of
rolling?
Knowledge, everyone knows the Mages Guild owns it. That land around it is some of the most beautiful land you'll ever see in your life. Because of the fact that so much magic occurs on this island, it actually was shaped and changed. The island is almost a physical representation in the world of Elderune of all of the planes of existence in one. There's places where you can go that the grass is just everything's on fire. It is where fire mages train. There's a place where it's completely a swamp, nothing but water. That's where water mages, where they practice water magic. It's every single element you could imagine in one on that island. When you finally traverse it and get to the tower, it is a tower so tall that you would basically be snapping your neck. Yeah, you would be snapping your neck back to look up at it. And this tower shapes and forms at will. So it's much like in Harry Potter when the staircases turn and people, are walking onto the staircases to get to another part. The tower itself expands as you enter a new area of the tower. So a sub tower will appear out of nowhere. And this guy's walking across a transparent bridge to get to another part that was otherwise hidden, but because he wanted to go there, it is now there. Things like that. Nithluna is a elven city owned by high elves, of course. Whatever they're actually called in D&D, are they called high elves?
Yeah.
There are high elves.
Yeah, so the most regal race of elves owns Nithluna. They worship this tree. Nobody in the world has any idea what this tree does. They worship it. There is obviously land that you can buy there if you really wanted to, if you could somehow convince the elves that, because you have a dwarf and stuff in the party that, the dwarves are okay. They might be able to be convinced. Humans and elves, politically wise, they get along. Elves are less distasteful of humans than they are of dwarves. So they hate dwarves. Humans, they're like how dwarves would act towards a human. Just a little curious, like, what are you doing here? They obviously value themselves above them, but not too much. Places you could buy in Nithluna, however, like, you can't buy... it's very limited in Nithluna, because everything is built at the base of this tree or in its branches. The city does have structures around the base of the tree, but they're like trading hubs. Like buying a homestead there is pretty hard, but you could buy maybe a shop, maybe an inn. It's very, very tough. That city below it, another mixed race city. I didn't develop the name yet, but that is where all of the Exceeds usually end up. They don't know what it is that draws them to this city. Maybe it's because of the fact that it's in the middle of a forest, on the coast, next to rivers, and next to a mountain. It has so many sources of food, and Exceeds are the most greedy race in this world when it comes to food. They love food. Their whole existence is about food.
There's a lot of bags of holding to fly into.
Yeah, exactly. Bags of holding. Root Vale, completely elven owned. This one, however, is not owned by high elves. It's owned by the middle class and the lower class elves. Okay? Nothing special about Root Vale. It's a big city. Twisting roots and houses made of wood, and there's still tree houses and things like that all around the city. It's just regular stone. Probably another good city for people to invest in, I would say. It's right on a major river that connects two seas, not just one, and right next to a forest. Probably a pretty good place to go. And Mirror Lake, super mysterious. What lives there? Who fucking knows? It's one of those places that a lot of people often don't want to go to. Elves go there. People are speculating there's some type of significance in regards to religion there, but most people who go there usually never leave. However, it is known that they didn't die. So if a human goes to Mirror Lake, they get stuck there for some reason, but they can send letters to former family to let them know that they're okay. They just don't explain anything about Mirror Lake. It's a very strange place.
The one
Don't
rule
get trapped.
Mirror Lake, you don't talk about Mirror Lake.
Yeah. And that's it. You guys can go take a break while I develop the first encounter.
Alrighty. I'll be back
Break.
to fucking kill everything.
Yeah.
That was a fun intro, by the way. Be right back.